So far, it's not looking good for Amazon's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. I think it looks like a cheap Lord of the Rings knockoff. It's like when you're at a party and someone says they brought root beer, but then you see it's Shasta root beer. I mean, it says root beer on the can, but there's a reason why they sell a 12-pack for $1.99. I'm not a The Lord of the Rings expert, so I can't criticize the show for not being faithful to the lore. I have never read the books, but I love the movies, and so all I can say is that this is a big step down in quality from Peter Jackson's vision of The Lord of the Rings. As far as what The Rings of Power is about, I am not sure yet. I guess overall it's about Galadriel, trying to hunt down Sauron and his orcs to avenge the death of her brother. All the men in her life who won't listen to her tell her to give up the quest because there has been no sign of Sauron for centuries, but gosh darn it, Galadriel knows that evil still lives. I say I'm not exactly sure what it's about because we follow at least 3 other sets of characters, including Harfoot, Lord Elrond. I guess he's not Lord Elrond at this point in time, but and then we follow some other people whose names I have already forgotten. The biggest problem with this show so far is how they keep jumping around all these different storylines. In Peter Jackson's The Fellowship of the Ring, we focused on a core group of characters, and then additional characters were added over time. So we had time to get to know Frodo and Sam and Gandalf, and we started to like them. Imagine how much less effective that movie would have been if Gandalf walked into Bilbo's house, and then suddenly it cut to Rivendell, and Legolas is talking to Lord Elrond about the fires of Mount Doom re-emerging, and then it cuts to Boromir talking to his dad about their war efforts, and then it cuts to Aragorn discovering the Ringwraiths have emerged from Minas Morgul. If they did that, it would be really stupid, and it would kill the mood. Well, they do that in The Rings of Power, and it definitely kills the mood. We have no time to stop and soak in the scenery because the show needs to set up the pieces for all of these future events they're trying to cram in. The script tries so hard to sound cool and Tolkien-esque, but it sounds like a cheap imitation. For example, Galadriel and her entourage go into a cave, and one of the elves puts his hand near his torch and he says, "My hand is past feeling." And Galadriel says, "No, this place is so evil that even our torches give off no warmth." That is a terrible line. Everyone keeps speaking in metaphors too to try and sound sophisticated, like, "A dog may bark at the moon, but he cannot bring it down." Or, "There can be no trust between hammer and rock. Eventually one or the other must surely break." Or Galadriel's brother tries to have a profound conversation with her by saying, "Do you know why a rock sinks and a ship sails? It's because the rock only looks downward into the darkness, but the ship always keeps its head looking up." Actually, ships float because the net of the upward force on an object immersed in water is equal to the weight of the water displaced by the object. Or they float because they're witches. There's no creativity here with the cinematography, which was a highlight of the Peter Jackson films. It's just a lot of basic point camera at character. I'm actually shocked with how cheap it looks. Like, the special effects aren't even on the level of The Mandalorian. Or even that Andor Disney Plus series looks like it's better quality. The costumes are uninspired. The armor doesn't look like metal. It looks like plastic that is painted to look like metal. The characters so far are really annoying. Galadriel is just an angry, glaring, bloodthirsty warmonger who is always grasping her dagger and making weird faces. And I don't want to make fun of anyone's accents, but the accents here are a lot thicker than they were in the Jackson films. "What do you think you're doing now? We Harfoots always stick together." Again, I don't want to offend anyone. I'm just saying it's a little harder for my untrained American ears to understand what is being said. The only characters I find interesting are Elrond and the dwarf Durin, because the two of them have a friendship that goes back 50 years, and so, I don't know, I thought the dwarves were a highlight of the show, and I hope there's some kind of payoff there between Elrond and Durin. This shot right here has to be the greatest shot in Lord of the Rings history. Let's see. Halbrand also has one of the most on-the-nose lines I've ever heard in television. His shipmates pull up Galadriel from the sea, and one of them says, "Does she look like she's a threat?" And then Halbrand says, "Looks can be deceiving." My goodness, a little heavy-handed on the foreshadowing there, buddy. There's a lot more I can say, but I don't want to go too long. The last thing I'll say is the music isn't good either. There's no catchy theme that you can hum along to. They also keep playing really intense music where it doesn't feel earned. Like someone will hold up an old broken sword and they're staring at it and then the music starts to go whoa. And I'm thinking, this isn't a big deal to me. I don't know what this is and the music isn't helping. I don't know, based on these 2 episodes, I'm not looking forward to the rest of the season.